getting a little closer to doing something Maya again and sticking to my word as I always do with the Five Alive cards and stuff that I tried to take down to Channel 3 4 or 5 years ago that they didn't know about. They only knew that I called the night before with the proof of how people died on the Phoenix at the Phoenix VA on the waiting list. They knew that ahead of time when I called the night before, but treated me like Bin Laden anyway when I walked through the door. Yeah, I know y'all get tired of hearing the story. I never get tired of telling it, but I'm not going to tell the whole story. But what this is about is I said earlier this month that I was going to take my own money since I've been in a lot of gun-involved situations in Chicago, and even my family didn't know at that time when I was in a situation where somebody moved and the police shot him right next to me, that I felt holes, seen holes in heat. I felt heat in my shirt, and so I know they don't be playing. And so I said that I was going to make these cards, Five Alive cards, and I was just waiting to get to one of my two checks I get a month, one from being hurt in the service and Social Security. And so I'm going to take my own money, go down to Office Max and make these cards. And the same cards, maybe not in the same wording as before, but 5 things to do to keep from getting shot. And I know one of them was to keep your hands up clearly, even if you were the person that called the police, because at that time they have such tunnel vision that if their own mother was in there, she reached for a phone, they would probably shoot her too. I know that. The second thing is to shut up, because they don't want to hear it, and it confuses them when you're talking, especially some people, I'm not saying who, like to wave their hands back and forth when they're talking. And so, you have to hold your hands up and shut up. That's 2. 3, when he handcuffs you, whether you're the good guy or bad guy, relax the minute he puts his hand out and put the handcuffs on you. Relax like you're a damn limp noodle and shut up. 3, let him spin you wherever he's going to spin you until he gets the scene secure. And the 4th thing, when he asks you, maybe the 4th thing should be make sure you brush your teeth every day, because you're going to be talking to somebody. But the 4th or 5th thing, I'll figure it out at Office Max. I have to think about this on the way down there. The 5th thing would probably be when he asks you a question, never break eye contact and tell the story the best you can. So I'm getting excited again because I lost all motivation to do a good thing and contribute to a small part of humanity of keeping people safe. Because I used to hear y'all say that when Joe Powell was in office, we need somebody to keep us safe. And I often said, safe from what? The only person that said, and I realize now today why y'all used to say that, because y'all do a lot of shit that ain't right, and still to this day that's happening. But I guess we have to work on that. But to keep a lot of people safe, you have to not be doing shit. But those are the ideas that I had back then, that I had lost all my motivation and will and to help be a part of something bigger than me. Be a part of like almost being in a service. You're a part of something great. And I had lost all that motivation, and I didn't even get to tell them because they act so badly down at Channel 3 that I had these two. That would have been enough. If I would have said, look, I got some cars that I made. I think it could keep people safe. I just wanted permission to ask the police through your TV station, is it all right for me to pass these out on a light rail to people that might not know that police are serious when they come on the call because they want to go home and hug their kids just like you do. And I should have led off with that and studied the proof of how people died at the waiting list, because I don't know if they didn't want to tell the story, or I think they didn't want to tell the story. They weren't prepared for that much truth to be told about wrongdoing in Phoenix. That's probably what it was. I didn't get to that point. They played this game around the water cooler with me, as I see it now, because they shut me down when I went out that studio. When I said, "What the hell's wrong with that lady?" which was Heidi, that jumped up on the desk. I'm surprised she didn't put her hands over her eyes like she did when she was a little baby, and that's how she got named Heidi, because she thought she was invisible. I didn't even get to that point, so I walked out of the news studio. Now, the reason why they say they act like that is a guy came in with the confession of murder on his phone, and that's why we treated you like that. If that was true, do you think they would have let me walk out that studio if they thought that? Because I never got to tell them anything else other than, look, I called the night before. Y'all knew I was coming. And that was the point there. I said, well, damn, what the hell is wrong with that lady? Because I didn't know Heidi then, and I don't know her still. I walked out of the stadium, news place on 7th Avenue, walked all the way to the light rail, took the light rail to 19th Street, took 19th Street bus down to Glendale on 7th Avenue and walked to the house. Called them and asked them, what did I do wrong? I called the night before. You think they let a black man get out of that stadium 2 feet away from that stadium if they thought that I was a person like that? And I had 29,000 police surround me, talking about freeze. I had a bag with the proof of how they died on the waiting list. My phone with the something saying how nice the police treated me since I've been here, because I was lost, and they told me, sir, you go this way and do this. And another one, I waved that on 19th on the light rail one day, and he came around the block. And he said, what's wrong? I said, nothing. I just waved at you because I appreciate what you do. That police had a tear in his eye, and I did too. And I couldn't figure out why until I started really seeing what was going on. He appreciated what I said so much. He was about to cry. And so that's what I had on the phone as far as what I wanted to say about the Phoenix police. They didn't know none of that neither. I had some leather hats. I don't even want to move my phone. I got this cheap ass Cricket phone, and it'll stop taping, that I paid a lot of money for. I had about 7 of them, and I gave them. I was so disappointed. I gave them to an officer that, in his time off, he's security for Fried Store on us, 17th and Glendale. And I walked up to him one day. I said, sir, this is for you. And I know he probably said, what the hell wrong with this dude? Or what he giving me something for? And once he looked in the bag, I didn't stay to see what he was going to say. I think I paid almost, I don't know, maybe $200 for the hats, because I was planning on wearing them, passing out the 5 Alive cards. I probably got shot right away from the neighborhood people saying, because it said, I support Phoenix police. I know they would probably say, oh, you do, huh? And shot my hat off my head, like in the old Western days at that time. But I had them nevertheless. They didn't know that neither. that was in the bag too. And so they played the game around the water cooler, probably didn't want to tell the truth, hear the truth about how their town was. And so I lost all motivation. I gave the hats to the police at Fry's. I threw away the cars in the garbage can, and I just said, fuck it. So now, years after that, now that's about 4 or 5 years ago. Now, I finally said, fuck it, after I've seen so many people get killed and the police still treat me nice. So I said, you know what, it must be meant for me to try this shit again. So I'm feeling really excited about saying what I'm going to do and do it. Walking the walk and talking the talk, I guess that's what y'all call it. At the same time, I ain't pulling no punches when you do some underhanded shit like y'all seen today. When y'all paste two black faces together in unrelated cases, how possibly couldn't they get a fair trial when in the thoughts of men and women in this town, they remember subliminal suggestions of things that they see. And you see this black lady that accidentally shot her kid and another black man that did something else, but their pictures are so close together, hair nappy, they looking like they're guilty. Probably one of them, the guy, might be guilty, but it was a terrible accident. As I hear the headlines of this lady, or read the headlines, that she shot her own kid. How many people faces were pasted when they drowned in swimming pools out of the 14 kids that died? None of them. How many people were tested for drugs of the parents of the kids that died in the swimming pool? None of them. How many DCF people went in their house to make sure the rest of the kids were safe? None of them. And so that's the type of shit that's still going on that I guess I got something else to talk about. So I'm getting motivated. I guess I got to stay away from news stations, and I ain't going to make that mistake of going down there again, which would have been good publicity for them, but they just didn't want to cover the truth about their city. But they would have took the story of the cards, but I'm not going to give it to them this time. They'll know about it from this, but they don't deserve me going down there for something else to happen to me again. I'll probably get shot this time going to a news station. So I'm make the cards on the 27th. And hopefully it don't take 7 days. By the 1st, I'll be walking down there. I'm not going to tell you what time, so you won't get hit by a llama in the middle of the street and somebody take the cars and the receipt and say that it was their idea, and take it to the police station and give them that. They're going to have 10,000 more free cars to critique what I think keeps you safe from getting shot in a morning meeting. Make it their own. I don't want any credit for it. And then I'm do the same thing for Scottsdale, since I got a ticket there and I got to go and pay anyway. And that'll be my small part to humanity. Now they can take them out of my hand and throw them in the garbage. It doesn't matter. It's what I try to do will make me feel better as a person. Thank you.